one of the things we get so confused about is potential versus purpose. If we are capable and good at doing something, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to do that thing, especially if we have so many different things that we are good at. And I think that is actually so many of us, right? So how do you know which thing is part of your purpose, your calling, and which ones are not? Or perhaps if all of them are, but where to place each one? We're going to dive into it. This is a narrative we have been fed. Pick a lane, pick a lane, focus on it. And if you do well in that lane, then you can bring in other things. But first, you have to pick a lane. We have to pick a niche, right? I actually decided I would say 3 years ago or something, that I was going to go against the grain and against that advice, because I no longer felt that I wanted to cram everything that I was into one lane and ignore all the others. I believe the key is to categorize the things that you really love doing, that you're good at doing. What kind of place do they have in your life? Do they deserve in your life? And do you really want to pick one lane, or do you want to combine them? Because I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to tell you cannot combine A, B, C, and D, because they just don't go together, right? But I think anything can go together. If you can find a through line, then anything can go together. And just because something hasn't been done before doesn't mean it cannot be done. So it's so important to listen to your own voice, your inner intuition, your own inner knowing, rather than what everyone else is saying. This is something I've learned too. There can be seasonal expressions of something. So perhaps there's a season where you really lean into one thing, because that is what that season is calling you to do, and the others kind of take a backseat. Then there can be a seasonal shift where actually you put that thing on the backseat and you explore something else for a bit. And eventually they kind of all come together, they kind of all coexist. But there can be seasons where some of them are more predominant than others. That's not failure, right? That is adjustment and adaptation. For example, I was really focused on music for a while, and that was literally all I was doing. And I felt I had to suppress the other things that I wanted to do. And then now I've been in a phase for the last couple of years where I have not really been able to do any music. So I've had to put that on the back burner. And then I've been able to bring these other parts of me to the fore, right? And then, you kind of move with whatever season you're in, and you adapt and you adjust and you go with what is available to you at the time. And that, I think, really is something most people never talk about. It's always, if this is calling you, if you're good at this, it is your calling. But your calling can be complex. It's not necessarily defined by one thing at one time. There is a difference between potential and purpose. And your purpose is not necessarily fixed. It can ebb and flow, like I said, it could evolve. So we don't have to be so rigid about, we have to focus on one thing or have to choose and make a choice. No, you don't have to be so rigid about it. If you trust your inner knowing and let yourself be guided by that, then you will find that there is space for all of you. You don't have to cram yourself into one thing, and you also don't have to force something you're good at to be more than you want it to be. Do what's right for you. And if you listen to that, it will lead you to where you're meant to go. Another thing I want to briefly touch on here as well is related to purpose is the trap of comparison. Because sometimes what looks really good on the outside may be completely out of alignment on the inside. And so maybe what you're doing looks less impressive on the outside, but if it feels aligned and true on the inside, that is the true marker of progress, right? And if you're getting to a place where you are more and more in alignment with who you really are, who you know you can become, and what your truth is, then you are progressing and you are further along than most people. Because it can be easy to build something that looks good on the outside, but is completely out of alignment, and sooner or later, those things will crash and burn, or they will just become a burden because it doesn't feel like who you are on the inside is reflected in what you've created on the outside. So it's worthwhile to remember that the most important thing is alignment. That has to be the foundation for what you are creating, and the fruits will come from that. It may take longer, but like I always say, those fruits are going to be so much juicier and sweeter and less rotten, let's be honest. So keep the alignment, because it's all about creating from the inside out. The inner creates the outer. So you don't have to figure out your whole life today. You don't have to figure out your life purpose. You don't have to use every single gift that you have. What you really need to do, at least from my experience, is to discern what this particular season is calling you to do. And then as you do that, the rest will fall into place and reveal itself to you in time. If you don't have clarity about something, maybe you're not supposed to know right now. Maybe all you need to know is the next step. And then the next step will be revealed after that, and after that, and after that. And that's how you eventually build something true and meaningful, by just taking one true step in what feels right for you in each season. And after a while, it will lead you to where you're meant to go. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to follow along for the journey. I'm Hege, sharing spiritual insight, poetry, music, and lived reflections to help us see more clearly and to live more truthfully together. Till next time.